Hey you guys, it's Bridget, Therese, and this is episode number 17, 4 weeks out from my show prep, and today we are talking about the last 4 weeks and what that looks like leading up to Mexico City. So today I'm just downstairs in the gym, my apartment gym, so there's going to be people going back and forth, so just don't mind them. We'll work around it as live, and this is what we do. But today I just want to talk to you guys about the last 4 weeks and what that looks like going to prep mode. So we'll just jump right into it, and I'll tell you about a little bit how my nutrition's changing, how my workouts are changing, and what that looks like leading up to this show. So we started 20 weeks, if we got 3 weeks left, so there's going to be 3 weeks left before I jump on stage, about 3.5 weeks. So we've been going at this for 17 weeks already, which is pretty exciting. So there's finally light at the end of the tunnel, and I can kind of see the end in sight, or just the beginning. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, so there's about 3 weeks where I kind of stayed steady and I kind of plateaued. And hi Sarah, she's saying hi to you. There's about 3 weeks where I plateaued and I didn't really lose any body fat and didn't really change, so I kind of maintained. So after that check-in where we did all my measurements and saw that I was kind of at a steady point, that was when we kind of decided it was time to change things up and really kick things into gear so that I could start gearing up for the last 4 weeks of prep. So we did the measurements, and after the measurements were taken, we decided that it was time to up my cardio. So in the very beginning, if you'll remember, I said that my goal was to go into the show eating the right amount of foods without getting my food cut, so that I still had high energy levels. And the other thing that my goal was to do was to glide in without having to do double cardio. So far, I am on track with those goals. I am still eating the same amount of food as I was when I started back in January. So that's awesome. I still have high carbs. I'm still eating a big size meal for my pre-workout and my post-workout. And the cardio that is changed, that's expected. So I just went from about 20 minutes of cardio a day up to 60 minutes of cardio a day. So I do 10 minutes of intervals where I do high intensity, and then after the 10 minutes of intervals, then I go on and do the 25 minutes of steady state. So the extra 25 minutes of steady state is really what's going to make the difference. And so that's kind of where my cardio has changed in just the last week, and the sun's kind of beating down on me right now. So the last week I went from doing, my sister's all excited about this cardio stuff. I'm going to make her do cardio with me when I get home. So the last week I've been doing cardio every single day. I've been doing it for the steady state after following the intervals. So we did my measurements again last week, and we saw that it's making progress. So we're gliding along at that steady pace of still losing the fat right before I show. So the goal right now is to maintain all the muscle mass that I've put on since January, but also start shedding the fat so that I can lean out in time for the show. So everything is progressing perfectly, so that's exciting. Let's see. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So right now, ever since all my measurements have come in and things have changed and we started to wind down, my goal is to be 100% perfect on my program. So that means absolutely no missing my workouts, no missing my cardio, and everything has to be on point to the T. So this is where the magic happens in these last 4 weeks, and so I have to be 100% perfect on all that so that everything I've set out to do will be accomplished. So really staying focused, really keeping that strong mindset, and if my program says I gotta do cardio, then I'm making sure that I do cardio. And sorry that the sun is hitting me so funny like that. But so cardio, and then not missing any meals, which actually is not that hard for me to do, because when you work at such a high level, you are constantly hungry. So 6 meals a day. I got my 2 pre and post workout meals, so everything is gliding along perfectly. So super excited. So I know that there was a couple weeks there where I was kind of just like dragging, and I felt like, oh God, is this ever going to end? Am I ever going to get there? So it's kind of like I said, light at the end of the tunnels. And now I'm seeing, with just a few weeks out, like everything kind of coming together. And next week I actually have a dress rehearsal planned. So all of my sponsors are coming, and all of the people who have been super supportive in helping me along the way are going to be coming out and going to get a behind the scenes look of all my outfits and the whole presentation. So I'm super excited about that. Also working really hard to make sure that's a fun event for everybody attending. But with that being said, that means the last 4 weeks I'm really trying to finalize all the details. So I'm putting a lot of thought into all of my outfits, all the accessories that are going to go with that, and everything that needs to be finalized. So lots of trips to the tailors right now, mixing and matching outfits, trying to pull everything together. So I have 5 outfits total that I'm working on. So there's a lot of organization that needs to go into that. So super exciting, but it's a lot of work and a lot of moving targets right now. So I'm just trying to pull those all together before my dress rehearsal, and then I'll have times, once I get feedback from that, I'll have time to make any tweaks if there's needs to be tweaks. So looking forward to that. But other than that, it's just a lot of mental focus right now, a lot of just keeping a positive attitude. I do a lot of thinking about how I'm going to fit everything in, and kind of right now I'm so focused that basically my days are planned around my weight training and my cardio. So right now I have to divide those into 2 separate workouts because of the amount of time that's needed in the gym. So I will do my weight training section at one point of the day, and then I'll go back and do my cardio later on in the afternoon or in the evenings. I tend to do it in the evenings because I have a little bit more time. So I'll do it in the evenings, and then that way it doesn't take up all my time in the gym. So spreading it out, figuring it out when I can get it in. Everything's planned around my meals. I don't go anywhere without having my food with me. So everything has to be very, very, very tight and very focused. So that's kind of the phase I'm in right now, where there's not really any room for error or any room for me to kind of mess up or be hungry without a meal and want to go eat something that's not on my meal plan. So bring my food everywhere. My brother can attest to this. He's been staying with me for a little bit. So all of my meals are planned out, all of my days are planned around my exercise routines, so everything is really down to the T. So it's kind of an exciting phase right now. So with that being said, there's 3 weeks left, about 3.5. 3 will be on Saturday, and so far, as long as I keep tracking the way I'm tracking, my food will stay the same, and my workouts will stay the same. But again, it'll be up to Coach Aaron Zambrano if that will be tweaked at all or if it will stay the same. So as we get closer, we'll be able to determine that. But the real changes happen the week of the show, and that's going to be go time. That'll be the week when everything gets tweaked. The way I eat gets changed. The foods I eat changes. The way I spice my food. The amount of water I drink, everything happens on that week. So it's a very, very exciting week, very pivotal week, and it's also probably the craziest week of my whole training prep, because not only am I getting ready to fly out internationally, but I'm getting all the last little details together of my outfits, getting last details together of any travel plans. I booked a photo shoot there, so it's like planning my outfits for the photo shoot, and then making sure that everything you can think of is in place. So very, very specific and a very, very tough week, but it's super exciting. It flies by. But your food changes, your workouts change, everything changes that last week. So that is the actual magical week. So that's something to look forward to, and that's kind of the exciting part. Right now, it's just a lot of mentally staying focused and just trusting the process. So like right now, for those of you who are competing and are watching this later or watching it now, you understand that when you're maybe 3 weeks out, that you're not looking necessarily like you could jump on stage. And so the challenge is maintaining that positive attitude and trusting the process. So that gets to be a challenge sometimes when you're at this point and you're like, oh, I don't have that show body yet, or I don't look this way yet. But trusting the process and having been through it before, I understand how the last week changes and how magical that can be. So really, just so you understand, the show body is intended for 1 day or 2 days if you're doing a huge show, but the show body is intended and planned out to be for that 1 day. And so you're going to do all this work and everything leads up and is planned. So you wake up on Saturday morning, I wake up on Saturday morning, and I have my show body. So sometimes that's hard to understand because you want to look that way now, so it gives you boosted confidence, but that ain't necessarily how it works, because there's so much that goes into it and your body changes so much that it's actually not healthy to stay that way for a long period of time. So you really just do it for that one day, and by the end of the day, Saturday, I will be eating tacos and ice cream and brownies and all those wonderful things that I'm not eating right now. So so that's kind of where the mental game comes into play right now, is where I'm just having to remember and having to trust the process and knowing that everything I'm doing right now is going to affect that show day. So staying on point, eating my food, getting all my workouts and my cardio in, and knowing that by the time I get to my show, and trusting Coach Aaron and trusting in the process, that when I wake up, I'm gonna have the show body, and that'll be the body that I go rock the stage with, and hopefully bring home the gold. So that's the goal. But yes, and then I'm gonna go eat tacos in Mexico, and then I'm gonna come back and eat some more tacos with Sarah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I'm excited for the process. I'm excited for everything that's happening, and just looking forward to getting to the end. So a lot of exciting stuff happening. But for those of you who are competing and watching this, just know that the last 3 weeks are so crucial, and you got to stay on your programs, stay on track with your nutrition. This is where it's hard, and it's like I find myself at night wanting to eat other foods, or just kind of like starting to miss those bad carbs and the treats and things like that. I still get a cheat meal right now, so that's good. So I can still have one meal a week where I'm enjoying a cheat meal, and I usually try to keep it clean. So a clean cheat is where it's not like a hamburger or a pizza, where it's a little bit easier on the body, because if you eat a cheat meal that's super heavy, you actually kind of feel sick for a couple of days, and I don't want to feel sick for a couple of days, so I'll eat cleaner. So that'll be like, I'll still go out to eat usually for a cheat meal, but it'll be like fajitas or corn tortillas, chipotle, something like that, where it's just a little bit cleaner of a cheat. So then it's not so hard on the body, and then you don't feel as bad. So right now it's kind of the struggle too. It's like if you have a cheat meal or you miss a workout, you're like, oh my God, did I ruin it, or did I mess it up? And that's not the case. If you mess up, just jump back on track. I mean, you're not going to fall completely off the bandwagon unless you do. But enjoy that cheat meal, do it guilt-free, but then just jump back on it and make sure you're getting all your cardio. So trust the mental process. I trust that everything that goes on between here, your body is capable of it, but it's the thoughts and everything between the ears that you have to control. So keeping a positive mindset, knowing that you're almost to the end. You've come this far, you're not going to give up, and you're going to kind of finish with giving it 100%. So I know there's days right now where I'm just like, I have to mentally prepare throughout the day to be like, okay, as soon as I'm done working out, I got to go do my cardio, and it's not negotiable anymore. So if I want to look my best, and if I want to bring my best to the stage, I have to do exactly what I'm told to do, so that I'm leaving no stone unturned when it comes to actually getting on that stage and walking across it and doing what I've been training for 20 weeks. So I know this part is hard. This part is the part that's difficult to stay motivated. It's a little bit harder to say no to the treats, but it's like when you're this close, it's 100% worth it. So you don't ever want to have any regrets. So don't quit. Don't just get lazy. Keep up. Like, this is, if anything, I feel like I've kicked it into higher gear now that it's getting closer, and I'm a little bit more motivated to do everything perfect. I haven't missed a meal. I haven't cheated outside of my meals. So I'm doing everything that I'm required to do to stay on point and make sure that when I roll into Mexico, that everything's just the way it was supposed to be and the way it was planned. So lots of focus right now, lots of mental focus, lots of planning ahead of time, so that I'm basically planning my workouts around my days and planning my nutrition around my days. Everything right now is kind of, it's almost like a part-time job where everything has to be, I'm structuring everything around getting in my food, getting in my workouts, and making sure that my cardio is done. So I'm kind of excited to see what the next couple of weeks bring. I have a lot of things that I'm getting done. Like I said, I got my photo shoot set up, so I'm planning the outfits for that. I have a whole bunch of fittings next week to finalize all of my outfits. I have 5 that are going with me to Mexico City, so really excited about those. I can't wait for y'all to see them. I have my dress rehearsal, so I'm getting ready for that and making sure everything's lined up, and to give all of the sponsors that I had a positive experience in supporting me. So that's been a lot of fun. But other than that, we've got 3 weeks left of live shows, and then I'll think about what I'm going to do. I'll probably take a couple weeks off, just enjoy life for a little bit. And I'm always enjoying life, but enjoy life outside of the pressure of the gym and planning my life around my workouts, as I've been doing for the last 20 weeks. So I'm gonna go to Mexico City on Friday morning, and then Friday we'll probably I'll register for my show. Saturday will be the actual show, and I'm so excited that it's going to be live, so all of you guys watching all over can watch it and see the results, see me come out in all 5 of my outfits. I'll be competing in 2 categories, and I'll be posting. But also, if you are on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. It's BT Fitness Model actually just BT Fitness Model, so that you can see all my stories. I'll be doing a lot of updating and behind the scenes, and posting about what number I am, so y'all can keep track of me and watch the show. So lots of exciting stuff that I have. Sunday will be a day off, Monday will be a photo shoot day, Tuesday will be relaxing, and then I'll come back on Tuesday. So that's kind of my itinerary for the week of the show in Mexico City. So I'm very excited about it. I'm just riding it out right now, riding out the waves, and just hoping to coast right through. So so far staying on track. My muscles staying maintained, my fat is going away, everything's falling into place. So it's been really exciting to kind of see all the pieces to come together. So if you're competing, just like I said, trust the process, and everything will fall into place and come together at the last minute when it's time. So that's what I got going on. So unless anybody has any questions, I've got to go do my cardio yet tonight. So I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody watching and following my journey. This episode is just kind of like telling you a little bit about how everything's changing and how the last 4 weeks are so pivotal. But we're winding down. It's like the official countdown, so I'm pretty excited. And a lot of people ask me if I'm nervous. I would say I get a little nervous, but it's more of like an excited anxiousness, where it's like, oh, it's already almost here. So it's more of a positive nervous, if that makes sense, where it's like I'm channeling the energy to the nervousness into being excited. So that's another mental thing to do. If you get nervous or I don't think I have any doubts right now, but those do come and go. So just kind of dismissing those and directing my energy towards a positive direction. So, but all of it is coming together. I'm very excited. Next week will be a very good trial run for me when I go through all my outfits and pull it all together, and it's going to kind of be like my show before my show. So it'll be really good to get out in front of everybody, do my posing, do all my walks, and kind of showcase all my outfits, and then have time based on, like I said, the feedback. If there's anything I need to tweak or change, we'll go ahead and do that. And then I have just a couple more weeks after that. So we're getting closer. Getting super close, so I'm super excited about it. Just staying positive, staying focused, and ready to go. So here we go. That's about it for today. Next week will be a short episode. I will be getting ready for my dress rehearsal. So I will just probably pop on, say hi real quick, tell you that I'm about to start my dress rehearsal, and say hi to everybody, and then I'm gonna go put on a little show and do my trial run. And then after that, we have 1 more week before we take off for Mexico. So stay tuned, send me your positive messages, give me your thumbs up, give me your likes, give me your shares, and I'm so thankful for all of you who have followed my journey so far. You know, a lot of you have been messaging me, asking me if it's going to be live, and I'm excited that it will be. So just stay tuned. I will be posting along the way, as I have been, and I'm excited to finish this out strong. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you again next week for episode 18 for my dress rehearsal. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.